You know what I'm saying? It. Get a bike, meet new people, go to places, and do cool stuff. If some of us get through, alright, we've got one of the ride leaders here that's going to kind of be separated or mingling in. How you doing, brother? You say so? Hey, H! Schumacher! What? Yes, brother, how are you, man? Yeah. Lovely, how are you?
Yeah, I got it now.
Yeah, see you in our game. Oh, you didn't come last, that is.
Welcome on, brother. Chantel, stranger.
Anti-racist demonstration of the 20th century, when approximately 20,000 people marched from New Cross to Hyde Park, calling for racial. The Black People's Day of Action was triggered by the New Cross fire, where 13 black children were burnt to death in a suspected racist arson attack while celebrating the 60th birthday party of Yvonne Roddick. Off screen, some of you would have seen a film recently that was on this very specific event. Just right touching and moving. Okay? It made history as one of the most significant political demonstrations ever to take place in Britain. A 14th victim who had survived the blaze but was unable to cope with the trauma of seeing the following day was shocking to read, as the demonstration was reduced to a riot. Black people and Blackfriars, rampage of the mob, confrontation. In contrast, the local press, such as the South East London Mercury, characterised the march as a day of dignity. Other prominent activists in the black community were present, including Linton Kwesi Johnson, Silver Phoenix, Darcus Howe, Alex Pascal, and Malik Shabazz, who recorded the events for a documentary film entitled Blood I Go Run 19.
Leon, say it louder, please. Yeah.
Sorry?
You're going to have to shout through it.
Right, so this was unveiled in 1988. This graffiti is a stylized representation of a Blackfriar with African facial features riding on a donkey. It would be very high up on the side of the building on Parker Street of Blackfriars rather than Bob's shop. The stone relief is in the shape of a cross, and it may be that it depicts one of the Dominican monks who took orders in Blackfriars Priory during the 13th century. The relief was sculpted by Edward Bainbridge Cocknell, who was also president of the Royal Society of Sculptors in the 1960s. That's
Why Ignatius Sancho is important to black history in Britain. Born in 1729 on a slave ship, Ignatius spent his first few years as an enslaved boy on the island of Grenada. Little is known about his parents, as his mother died whilst Ignatius was young, and his father committed suicide as he preferred death rather than to become a slave. Sometime between Sancho's second and third birthday, his owner brought him to England, where he worked as a servant in Greenwich before working for the Duke of Montagu. The next available public record of Ignatius Sancho is in 1773, where he and his wife began a grocer's shop in Westminster. By 1773, Sancho was married, and with his wife, the storefront became a meeting place for some of the most famous writers, artists, actors and politicians of the day. Another abolitionist and natural rights philosopher.
Why is there so many people there?
Can I roll now? The king of the Zulus stayed here in 1882. We've got the birth year, his life year as 1832 to 1884. While in London, Kisweso adopted Western dress, but still wore his isikoko, a traditional head ring worn by Zulu men, sometimes translated as sekibo. For many, the Zulu war
is remembered as a dark moment in British history, a conflict deemed unjust and unnecessary by the Earl of Kimberley in 1882. They just wanted to be a husband and wife. They just wanted what all human beings want to have. The great slavery of Helen and William Craft.
Yeah, go.
Passing as a white man traveling with his servant. Two slaves fled their masters in a thrilling tale of deception and intrigue. Along with Henry Box Brown, the escape of the Crafts is perhaps the second most famous escape from American slavery. It required great daring, courage, and skill, and many times both husband and wife believed they would be snatched back into the jaws of slavery, sold and separated forever. We thought of plan after plan, but they all seemed crowded with insurmountable difficulties. William, born 1824 and dying in 1900, and Ellen Craft, born 1826 and dying in 1891, were born and slaves in Georgia. Once they were married, Ellen and the famous black doctor of Paddington.
Bring it a bit closer.
The famous black doctor of Paddington and World War I local hero. A determined doctor who overcame bigotry and prejudice to help others during the First World War, finally recognised 100 years later. Now we trace his story. John Alcindor was a gifted doctor, respected and trusted by his many patients. Originally from Trinidad, John graduated with a medical degree from Edinburgh University in 1899. He then went on to London Hospital for several years before going on to practice on his own. When the First World War broke out in 1914, he naturally wanted to use his skills to help with the war effort. But despite his qualifications and experience, he was rejected outright by the Royal Army Medical Corps in 1914 because of his colonial origin.
Guys, we're doing right turn.
Russell, 1863 to 1939, was a renowned neurologist, acclaimed professor, and one of the first black British consultants. He became a member of the RCP in 1891 and was elected a fellow in 1897. The careers of the black physicians like Russell are integrated part of Britain's medical history. Russell completed his postgraduate medical training at St Thomas's Hospital in London. In 1895, received a grant to study in Berlin and Paris. While in Paris, he studied nervous diseases. No. Nervous diseases. I'm keeping you on your toes. After Jean Martin Colcott at a hospital in to ascertain whether Russell's wartime career was affected by war, by office racism, and he continued to work as a consultant at National Hospital treating soldiers with shell shock. After the war, he was active in campaigning for reform of the launch law and campaigned to keep patients with less serious mental health issues out of mental institutions. He became chairman of National Society of the Nancy Reform in 1924 and act as an accepted witness in the courts for higher profile cases with psychiatric consideration. In 1928, Russell retired from National Hospital, completed a 30-year career with them. Within his lifetime, Russell was well known as a respected physician. He achieved consultant status and a large private practice. He enjoyed his material success. He was chauffeured about town in his Rolls Royce, owned a fine art, and hosted dinner parties with small orchestras. Russell died in his consultancy room in Willport Street. 1939.
The next on the list is, I hope I'm saying it right, it's Aluada Equiano. Say it again, please.
And you be quick.
Aluada. Somebody keep me when I get to it. Okay.
I knew you'd be corrected.
The shrieks of the women and the groans of the dying rendered the whole a scene of horror almost inconceivable. According to his own account, Equiano was kidnapped at age 11 and taken to the West Indies. From there, he went to Virginia, where he was purchased by a sea captain, Michael Henry Pascal, with whom he travelled widely. He received some education and changed hands twice more before he bought his own freedom in 1766. The interesting narrative remains essential work for both its pictures of 18th century Africa as a model of social harmony defiled by Western greed, and for its eloquent argument against the barbarous slave trade.
Rastafari icon, a global superstar, was one of Jamaica's most famous musicians. As a pioneer of reggae, Marley's contributions to music brought Jamaican music centre stage, and he was a major cultural figure for a decade. And like so much of the Jamaican diaspora, Marley made the UK his home in the 70s. In October 2006, the Nubian Jack Community Trust, in partnership with the Lord Mayor, installed a blue plaque to Robert Nesta Marley at 34 Brookmount Gardens, Camden, where he lived when he first moved to London in 1971. The NJCT did this in partnership with the Mayor in London, and it was the first commemorative event organised by the Nubian Jack Community Trust, as well as being County Hall's first ever blue plaque. The installation of Bob Marley plaque was filmed as a feature for the 90-minute Arena documentary aired on BBC One the following October called Bob Marley, Exodus 77. Born in 9 Mile, British Jamaica, Marley began his professional musical career in 1963 after forming Bob Marley and the Wailers. The group released its debut studio album, The Wailing Wailers, in 1965.